Oh, okay. What up, start?
I'm interested in starting my show right now.
Okay, start reading to us. I don't know if I rolled up my joint yet, but I'll do it while you're reading.
Just gonna start Audacity recording it in the background. I sent you a message. I don't know if you got it. I recorded the comment culture, so you have it ready.
Yes, I saw that the Dropbox. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 5 minutes long. You just need to chop it up wherever it fits.
I'll definitely do that.
Okay.
I'll definitely do that.
Okay. I'm going to read to you We by Evgeni Samjatin. It's a science fiction book written in 1927, before any of the other old science fiction books that you might know, like Brave New World or 1984, were written. And it actually served as an idol to these Aldous Huxley and George Orwell. As you might see, there's some parallels. It's a book about, I think it's an engineer that works on the Integral, a spaceship that will carry mankind out of their misery. But at the same time, it's a very strange society that they're living in, and all the time when you're listening, you need to try to imagine that this book was written in 1927, okay? Because it's just, you will have goosebumps over and over if you just think what's going on right now. And yeah, anyhow. Record 1. Record 1. An announcement. The wisest of lines. A poem. This is merely a copy, word for word, of what was published this morning in the state newspaper. In another 120 days, the building of the Integral will be completed. The great historic hour is near when the first Integral will rise to the limitless space of the universe. 1,000 years ago, your heroic ancestors subjected the whole Earth to the power of the United States. A still more glorious task is before you, the integration of the indefinite equation of the cosmos by the use of the glass electric fire-breathing integral. Your mission is to subjugate to the grateful yoke of reason the unknown beings who live on other planets and who are perhaps still in the primitive state of freedom. If they will not understand that we are bringing them the mathematically faultless happiness, our duty will be to force them to be happy. But before we take up arms, we shall try the power of words. In the name of the well-doer, the following is announced herewith to all members of the United States. Whoever feels capable must consider it his duty to write treatises, poems, manifestos, odes, and other compositions on the greatness and the beauty of the United States. This will be the first cargo which the Integral will carry. Long live the United States, long live the numbers, long live the well-doer. I feel my cheeks burn as I write this, to integrate the colossal universal equation, to unbend the wild curve, to straighten it out to a tangent, to a straight line. For the United States is a straight line, a great divine, precise, wise line, the wisest of lines. I, D503, the builder of the Integral. I am only one of the many mathematicians of the United States. My pen, which is accustomed to figures, is unable to express the march and rhythm of consonants. Therefore, I shall try to record only the things I see, the things I think, or to be more exact, the things we think. Yes, we. That is exactly what I mean. And we, therefore, shall be the title of my records. But this will only be a derivative of our life, of our mathematical, perfect life in the United States. If this be so, Will not this derivative be a poem in itself despite my limitations? It will, I believe it, I know it. My cheeks still burn as I write this. I feel something similar to what a woman probably feels when for the first time she senses within herself the pulse of a tiny, blind human being. It is I, and at the same time it is not I. And for many long months it will be necessary to feed it with my life, with my blood, and then with a pain at my heart, to tear it from myself and lay it at the feet of the United States. Yet I am ready, as everyone, or nearly every one of us is. I am ready. Record 2. Ballet. Square harmony. X. Spring. From behind the green wall, from some unknown plains, the wind brings to us the yellow, honeyed pollen of flowers. One's lips are dry from this sweet dust. Every moment one passes one's tongue over them. Probably all women who I meet in the street, and certainly men also, have sweet lips today. This somewhat disturbs my logical thinking. But the sky is blue. Its limpidness is not marred by a single cloud. How primitive was the taste of the ancients, since their poets were always inspired by these senseless, formless, stupidly rushing accumulations of vapor. I am sure it will not be an error if I say we love only such a sky. A sterile, faultless sky. On such days the whole universe seems to be molded of the same eternal glass, like the green wall, and like all our buildings on such days one sees their wonderful equations, hitherto unknown. One sees these equations in everything, even the most ordinary everyday things. Here's an example. This morning I was on the dock, where the integral was being built, and I saw the lathes blindly with abandon. The balls of the regulators were rotating, the cranks were swinging from side to side with a glimmer, the working beam proudly swung its shoulder, and the mechanical chisels were dancing to the melody of the unheard tarantulas. I suddenly perceived all the music, all the beauty of this colossal, this mechanical ballet, illuminated by light blue rays of sunshine. Then the thought came, why beautiful? Why is this dance beautiful? Answer: because it is unfree movement, because the deep meaning of the dance is contained in its absolute ecstatic submission, in the ideal non-freedom. If it is true that our ancestors would abandon themselves in dancing at the most inspired moments of their lives, religious mysteries, military parades, then it means only one thing. The instinct of non-freedom has been characteristic of human nature from ancient times, and we in our life today, we are only consciously. I was interrupted. The switchboard clicked. I raised my eyes. 090, of course. In half a minute she will be here to take me for the walk. Dear O. She always seems to look like her name, O. She's approximately 10 centimeters shorter than the required maternal norm. Therefore she appears round all over. The rose-colored O of her lips is open to meet every word of mine. She has a round, soft dimple on her wrist. Children have such dimples. As she came in, the logical flywheel was buzzing in my head, and following its inertia, I began to tell her about my new formula, which embraced the machines and the dances and all of us. Wonderful, isn't it? I asked. It's wonderful. Spring, she replied with a rosy smile. You see, spring. She's about spring. Females. I be silent. We were down in the street. The avenue was crowded. On days when the weather is so beautiful, the afternoon personal hour is usually the hour of supplementary walk. As always, the big mute tower was playing the March of the United States with all its pipes. The numbers, hundreds, thousands of numbers in light blue uniforms. units in our language. With golden badges on the chest, the state number of each one, male or female. The numbers were walking slowly, 4 abreast, exultantly keeping step. We 4, were but one of the innumerable waves of a powerful torrent. To my left, 090, if one of my long-haired ancestors were writing this 1,000 years ago, he would probably call her by that funny word, mine. To my right, 2 unknown numbers, a she number and a he number. Blue sky, tiny baby suns in each one of our badges. Our faces are unclouded by the insanity of thoughts. Rays. Do you picture it? Everything seems to be made of a kind of smiling, a ray-like matter, and the brass measures, ta-ra-ta-tum, stamping on the brassy steps that sparkle in the sun, which every step you rise higher and higher into the dizzy blue heights. Then, as this morning on the dock, I again saw, as if for the first time in my life, the impeccably straight sheets, the glistening glass of the pavement, the divine parallelpipeds of the transparent dwelling, the square harmony of the greyish blue rows of numbers, and it seemed to me that not past generations, but I myself had won a victory over the old god and the old life, that I myself had created all this. I felt like a tower. I was afraid to move my elbow, lest the walls, the cupola, and the machines should fall to pieces. Then, without warning, a jump through centuries, I remembered, apparently through an association by contrast, a picture in the museum, a picture of an avenue of the 20th century, a thundering, many-colored confusion of men, wheels, animals, billboards, trees, colors, and birds. They say all of this once actually existed. It seemed to me so incredible, so absurd, that I lost control of myself and laughed aloud. A laugh as if an echo of mine reached my ear from the right. I turned. I saw white, very white, sharp teeth and an unfamiliar female face. "I beg your pardon," she said, "but you looked about you like an inspired mythological god on the 7th day of creation. You look as though you are sure that I too was created by you, by no one but you. It is very flattering." All this without a smile, even with a certain degree of respect. She may know that I am the builder of the integral. In her eyes, nevertheless, and on her brows, there was a strange, irritating X, and I was unable to grasp it, to find an arithmetical expression for it. Somehow I was confused. With a somewhat hazy mind, I tried logically to explain my laughter. It was absolutely clear that this contrast, this impassable abyss between the things of today and of years ago... But why impassable? What sharp, bright teeth. One might throw a bridge over that abyss. Please imagine a drum battalion rose. All this existed before and consequently... "Oh yes, it is clear," I exclaimed. It was a remarkable intersection of thoughts. She said almost in the same words the things I had written down before the walk. Do you understand? Even the thoughts. It is because nobody is one, but one of. We are all so much alike. Are you sure? I noticed her brows that rose to the temples in an acute angle, like the sharp corners of an axe. Again I was confused, casting a glance to the right, then to the left, to my right. She, slender, abrupt, resistantly flexible like a whip. I, 330. I saw her number now. To my left, O. Totally different, all made of circles with a childlike dimple on her wrist. And at the very end of our row, the unknown he number, double curved like the letter S. We were all so different from one another. The one to my right, I 330, apparently caught the confusion in my eye, for she said with a sigh, "Yes, alas." I don't deny that this exclamation was quite in place, but again, there was something in her face or in her voice. With an abruptness unusual for me, I said, "Why, alas! Science is developing, and if not now, then within 50 or 100 years, even the noses will." Yes, the noses. This time I almost shouted. Since there is still a reason, no matter what, for envy, since my nose is button-like and someone else's is... Well, your nose is rather classic, as they would have said in ancient days, although your hands... No, show me your hands. I hate to have anyone look at my hands. They're covered with long hair and stupid atavism. I stretched out my hands and said as indifferently as I could, ape-like. She glanced at my hand, then at my face. No, a very curious harmony. She weighed me with her eyes as though with scales. The little horns again appeared at the corner of her brows. He's registered in my name, exclaimed 090 with a rosy smile. I made a grimace. Strictly speaking, she was out of order. This dear O, how shall I say? The speed of her tongue is not correctly calculated. The speed per second of her tongue should be slightly less than the speed per second of her thoughts, at any rate not the reverse. At the end of the avenue, the big bell of the accumulating towers resounded 17. The personal hour was at an end. I, 330, was leaving us with that S-like he number. He has such a respectable, and I noticed then such a familiar face. I must have met him somewhere. But where I could not remember. Upon leaving me, I, 330, said with the same X-like smile, "Drop in after tomorrow, in Auditorium 112. I shrugged my shoulders. If I am assigned to the auditorium you just named? She, with a peculiar and comprehensive certainty, you will be. The woman had a disagreeable effect on me, like an irrational component of an equation which you cannot eliminate. I was glad to remain alone with dear O, at least for a short while. Hand in hand with her, I passed 4 lines of avenues. At the next corner, she went to the right, I to the left. O timidly raised her round blue crystalline eyes. I would like so much to come to you today and pull down the curtains, especially today, right now. How funny she is. But what could I say to her? She was with me only yesterday, and she knows as well as I that our next sexual day is day after tomorrow. It is merely another case in which her thoughts are too far ahead. It sometimes happens that the spark comes too early to the motor. At parting, I kissed her twice. No, I shall be exact, 3 times. On her wonderful blue eyes, such clear, unclouded eyes. End of record 2.
But if we seriously did a collaborative movie thing, or not even a movie, but a short clip where, you know, maybe Satori does a scene with the typewriter in the basement, and like Anonymity does a scene somewhere else, and Buzzard does a scene where he interacts with something in a certain way, and just everyone puts their things together to kind of make one video clip together.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like kind of like the story that forgot his name. This guy that writes these stories where everybody comments on it. Typing Tuesday.
Oh yeah, the Typing Tuesday, yeah.
And you know, like everybody posts some little thing on it, and you can have like a video chain. Mm-hmm. Everybody puts a little video on it.
You know, too, what I was thinking, maybe like in the future of Minds, there is some very quick little feature syncing videos, like kind of randomly but together somehow. For instance, in that we have like Typing Tuesday and people are giving their video responses to it, but then that there is like a feature where we do like a random mashup, and it kind of, no one actually does it, but like there's a feature that does it. and said, "Hey, mashup video responses," and you click on video responses or mashup, especially if you're going to do a poem, mashup comments. And so then it kind of like randomly puts together the comments. So like, you assign it, there's 10 different comments and you give it a number, right? But it randomizes it. Then you may have comment 7 starting it off, and then comment 9, and then it mashes it up into like this remix of the comments and the remix of the video responses. I think there's always a little bit of magic in there.
They mentioned playlists at the very least.
At the very least?
I don't know if that's they were talking about something with SoundCloud for playing audio clips from SoundCloud, but also I believe that includes playlists for videos on Minds.
And then you really just randomize it, right? That would be an awesome feature. Especially now that we're going to start getting media together. That would just... I think there's always a little bit of magic in randomizing stuff.
I heard you. I was really always at the limit of my computer. Satori was lagging. I think it's me, not you.
Oh, so I'm lagging or what?
No. My computer was just at the limit.
But yeah. All that's kind of...
No, I like that idea. It's so many great ideas. The only... I was saying that last time I was on when I didn't really notice that the microphone didn't work. I'm wondering if this little Minds enclave that we are right now, I don't know, with you and maybe Melissa and you and
you.
The people that you see over and over again.
Yeah.
If that's like us, because somehow there's 500,000 people on Minds, but somehow we seem to be locked in this group somehow, If there's other little active pods and
we all somehow are stuck in this little nodes of minds. It is true, every time we try to get something, we get the same circle of people that we kind of interact with.
I would love to see the back end of the data.
Yeah.
To say okay, who there was this app on Facebook one day where you could connect your friend circles with each other and create this nervous system or something. And that would be cool for Minds to see the people who subscribe to who and who subscribe to who, to kind of see a map of Minds. Because I think that I at some point there was tons of Vietnamese people in the groups.
Yeah, I remember that.
And right now I cannot see them anymore because probably none of them are subscribed to me, which makes only sense. But there must be a giant Vietnamese community on Minds, and then there's
there's probably
our little
community. A Vietnamese version of us right now talking in a period Minds Vietnamese panel, or however you say panel in Vietnamese.
Chào các bạn, mình là Kim Lý và Trần Lê Ri. Hôm nay mình sẽ nói những điều mình nên làm và không nên làm lúc mình mới gặp hoặc là quen bạn gái hay là bạn trai lần đầu tiên. Ok, số 1 là mình nên không nói chuyện điện thoại. Tại sao? Là tại vì cái đó là rất là mất lịch sự. Kim nói đúng, rất là lịch sự, rất là mất lịch sự mà. Xin lỗi. Ok, đừng có nói chuyện lên phone, đừng có text, đừng có email, đừng có nhìn gái khác, đừng có nhìn hình gái khác. Rất là mất lịch sự. Thứ hai
That'd be kind of crazy. Parallel worlds, but there's parallel minds, enclaves doing the same thing. That's another idea.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, huh?
Minds discovery, huh?
Also be awesome if they could speak English, so we could talk about it.
I do wonder that too.
there are people that have like 32,000 subscriptions. So
There are?
yeah, there's like people that have massive amounts of a user base. And I don't know if they're doing that with the view, oh yeah, at some point I can sell my profile or whatever. I mean, I never thought about that, and I have over 1,000 subscribers now. I'm like, okay, great.
Sorry?
The question...
The question? Broke up, huh?
Oh wow, mind needs on the resources.
Okay, there you go. We're never gonna find out the question. That's gonna bug me. I'm never gonna sleep again. I'm gonna be wondering about the question. What is the question? I'm gonna be in my own dystopian novel. I'm gonna have dreams of Russia now. Dreams of the Soviet Union. Oh, great.
You're Russian?
No, besides German, right?
Yeah, I'm German.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Well, another thing I'm worrying would be login frequency. Sorry that I have to come back to that.
Login frequency?
Yeah, you know, like to have like okay, this guy is red, so he hasn't logged in the last 2 months at all.
Oh, yeah.
And then this guy is like shining green, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
That is, yeah, there. I don't even know. Probably like 500 of my subscribers are not even active anymore on mine's.
exactly
Yeah.
that's something that I would be really interested in.
Yeah, me too.
I really want to know. Well, I can see by the amount of likes and reminds I get that there aren't a lot of people active, but I would like to know who from my subscribers is active.
Yeah, and especially too when we started wanting to do impromptu shows and stuff like that. It would be nice to see who's like active right now, and be like, okay, send that a message. Because there's a lot of times, especially yesterday when you're doing the show, you're sending all these messages and they didn't get it until like the nighttime. But yeah.
There's a mixture
Well,
of...
you can join now.
Oh, sorry. Whoever was going first, go for it.
No. No,
There's
go.
sort of for the accounts that have, all of those subscribers with no activity. It's kind of a mixture of early 2015, late 2014. I know there were a lot more connections between people, like members of Minds. Like when you joined, it's a very, very small network. They kind of throw a lot of people in your face because it's a small user base. As well as there's a lot of, I'm always the one complaining about it, but proprietary features. So you go to the homepage, you've got featured videos, featured blogs. There's like a whole wall of featured or suggested accounts.
I'm featured?
Yeah, I used to be featured for a long time, and then I came and I told Bill that, I'm not really for the featured accounts section, so I don't really want to be part of it because they're handpicked and they don't represent Minds and a lot of reasons. But before, it's a lot more dynamic now, but once upon a time, I know that when I joined Minds, it pretty much stayed the same for a long period of time. And a lot of those accounts, I'm looking on here right now, some of the top ones are, pretty small accounts that have 30, 40,000 subscribers. But
Small.
I mean, maybe they paid a lot. When you can buy boost points with money.
yeah,
So,
that won't get you followers, but I mean, yeah, you can boost your content all the way.
you can even boost your channel. You can
That
boost your
too,
channel
yeah.
and say,
I would just hope that, that's not all you have to do to get.
Yeah.
A lot of things are based on. But I was also going to say, as far as finding active users, active content, it only works for images, video, and new accounts. But that link I posted for discovery/all, if you go videos and images, it'll show you the latest thing anyone has uploaded in order.
Okay.
So you can kind of see like someone posted, 20 minutes ago. and so you can know who's kind of online and posting things.
Oh,
If we
okay.
had that for all posts, that would be even better.
So, 24-hour Imaginarium is on June 6th, 24 hours, the whole day. We're going to devote basically consciousness and everything that entails about being creative, art, and really getting in tune, and really getting in tune, and really getting in tune to what's going around us. To what's going around us. And we are going to do this in a collaborative effort. So we have the 24 Imaginarium page. There's a group where you can put up music, so we have music. By your own imagination. And really, you're only limited by your own imagination. The Imaginarium is where thoughts, ideas, dreams get processed into reality. What it's going to be is that we're going to have everybody from around the world. You start participating, reminding and posting to get you guys aware of what's going on. Whatever your passion is, as far as expressing yourself, we want you to do that. We want you to do that. He would have these great visions and these dreams to bring to the tribe. The whole tribe will get together and play out his dream. And play out his dream. And play out his dream in their village. That dream be manifested in reality. And this is kind of what we're troubleshooting and doing as a global village. We're troubleshooting and doing as a global village.
Together, we can resolve anything, absolutely anything. And timing is what counts in our consciousness, that we need to pull together, and timing is one of the most important things. And it seems like now, when we're surrounded by a lot of chaos, that's when people really start to look for, well, what can I do? What tools have I got? And we can see now they're there. We've got everything. It's just a matter of really connecting our heads together. It's just a matter of really connecting our heads together. It's just a matter of really connecting our heads together.
The core belief